Hello all, Dr. Fox back here with you. 9.2.7 drops, an MMORPG Warcraft style era, mobile game canceled. Oh gosh, season 4 of course has been going on. We have the soar's been pulled back. Well, let's just get into this, shan't we? Dr. Fox back here with you, the weekend update. As of this Tuesday, if I'm correct, yes, August 16th, 9.2.7. Nothing major. This is those ones where you kind of get like a little minor tweak. And we'll have a couple of little tweaks coming out of that one this week. As well, just ignore that sound. That was my Transformer reveal that I get to. You can already see it on camera. I've already kind of given away what it is. So it's I wanted to do it this way because it was right around my I call it my holiday, my birthday time, and then there's another special person coming. I'll probably be talking about her next weekend. She has a birthday on about 12 days after mine, without having to give away who that is, with just a quick shout out to them as well. Season 4, that is underway. The soar on alpha, at least for the main live game, they're talking about cutting that back, and we know that in alpha we did see a bit of a cutback. We know that those are never the final pushes for that as well. Some of the massive nerfs from some of the community leveling groups got shut down. Not all of them, like the NA based type ones. Either that or they're gonna get hit later on, and maybe they did get hit, and I just haven't heard about it quite yet. But that was one of the major big hits coming up on that as well. And we know for level increases, we're seeing that when you're leveling. Now, again, remember, alpha always will change, and sometimes, but generally we see this go, at least some of this tends to be live, especially as we move in to the next expansion. A lot of times that next expansion gets moved into Chromie time, and then there's a variant there, but we know that levels 1 through 30 are definitely cruising really, really, really fast that way. But at least right now, when we're looking at the leveling numbers, 30 to 50, 30 to 50, it started to pull back a chunk. I guess they're slowing down that variant, and then they may change that again. This is just what we're seeing right now. And then, of course, from 50 to 60, and then now in Dragonflight will be 60 to 70, along with 60 to 70 for, 70 to 80 in Wrath Classic when that drops later this year as well. The raid dungeon, they've been doing some blue fixes for those. They've pulled some of those back a little. Some of the numbers on the variants for the normal, the heroic, where it's almost like the mythic plus, or the heroic numbers are almost like the mythic plus numbers. But again, those variant numbers may be changed around, and that could be just for testing purposes. We'll have to kind of see how those numbers kind of get moved around. Oh, while we were talking about 9.2.7 dropping, one of the things that is coming to it that is aside from a major patch is for instance, the North American realmed auction house is going to finally be able to be pretty much across the board. Before it was server based. Now I know we had some combined servers and it was there, but now it's pretty much going to be all in North America for the items like everything from flasks, herbs, consumables, things like that. You're going to kind of start seeing that when that 9.2.7 drop as well. And speaking of the auction house, I'm so excited. Maybe that's just my excitement, I guess. The auction house is coming back to the WoW companion app. Now, I guess not right away, or if it has already dropped, let me know. I'm going to have to probably go. I meant to play with it before I even came on, and then I would have answered my own question. But I thought it was understood that it was not going to be even dropping until some point during 9.2.7, which is after August 16th as well. So we'll have to kind of see where that unfolds. I guess they're also, WoW is working on some sort of variety show. Over on Twitch, they're kind of feature, they've been pulling it back because with a lot of the BlizzCons that got canceled, and of course the merger for Microsoft that we've been seeing continuing. So over on Twitch, there'll be leveling competition, lore scavenger hunt, and then race through Azeroth. Sort of a run race through it, which is kind of similar to what we did for when we do our No Trans Left Behind during the Nomergard race. I know we'd run some characters through that race and try to raise a little bit of money for that as well. And I think that is coming up again pretty soon. I got to check my calendar. Speaking of that, we'll get into the calendar momentarily. Just having a Zevia, I guess it's called 0 calorie. This is the grape flavor. And don't worry, I still got my water right here too. So just having a sip on camera. And no, I'm not being, just to clarify, I'm not being sponsored by any of these things. This is stuff that comes out of our hard-earned money. And while we're on the subject, sadly, now not the Warcraft Rumble game that's coming out, but the Warcraft, there's going to be one that's based on, and I'd be actually, because I like the lore part of it, I'd be kind of fascinated. I know me and my hubby were talking about this earlier, about some of the lore that's in that. I'd be kind of curious about what time stamp it was going to take place, or what time frame, and then kind of what some of the back lore is as well. I know a couple other content creators out there talked a little bit about this lore as well, wondering where that might be. And maybe we won't ever find out, but it got canceled. It's too bad. It was going to play a lot like, what was it, that Kenji game? I forget the name of that, but it worked very well. A lot of these games I've seen come out that play like that type of open world sort of world MMORPG style can work very, very good on Android, iOS, PC. It can kind of really cross-platform. And that was really where I was hoping it to reach its potential, including even some of the consoles. Because like I said, if I knew Dragonflight was going to come, and maybe it still will, I mean, now that Microsoft owns it, it'll come to the Xbox. That would be awesome, because then I'm like, then I don't need another computer, even though we've got so many gadgets here. And I'm like, I'm trying to cut down, but that's for a whole different conversation for a different day. So I guess that one's going to be canceled, and we'll have to kind of see how that unfolds. While we were talking about the auction house returning to the mobile app, I also wanted to mention too, there are supposedly a new channel for like the for sale, the public chat, things like that. There is a way to leave that. That's /leave, and you can do that with like the general chat and any other variant chat numbers that are in there as well, if you're trying to kind of what we call the garbage chat. Now, don't get me wrong, every once in a while, and we get it, so you won't be able to talk to some individuals, but I think as long as you have a connection to your couple of your friends and you kind of throw away that little garbage, in my opinion, I found that to be a much more enjoyable experience. Then you're not really having to deal with a lot of other stuff going on in there as well. But that was just a few things I wanted to kind of touch on this week. We got that minor patch, and then all those parts that are going to be dropping too. So we'll kind of see that as we get into the calendar mention as well. Boy, it is raining. It's not raining men. It's raining Cosmic Flux this week as well. That's dropping in PvP, Mythic Plus, Raid. The vessel, you'll be able to buy this one for 10,000 if you haven't already. You can always buy Cosmic Flux to send over, but it costs like 1,500 for you to only get 12,500 over to another character. I wish it would just be even, but we've seen this in other expansions where the amount you're spending from your main character, you lose a little as you send it, because it's almost like they want to encourage you to do it on that alt. Even though you shouldn't have to. But with that, there's this new item you can get. Well, not really new. I guess it's been out for a little bit. For, is it 10,000 Cosmic Flux? The Vessel of Profound Possibility. It will crank up if you go to your not the, it's in your covenants, and you can bring that up. If you haven't already got it almost to 278, this will pretty much just pop that right up there to 278, which is a nice little catch-up option as well. And no more no more conquered cap for Shadowlands as well. And of course, Season 4 has been underway. And share with me, have you been doing some Season 4 goodies? Have you kind of stayed away? Are you playing something else? I know I'm excited for the end of the month. I'm still waiting for the Turtles Cowabunga collection to drop from my Nintendo Switch. I know it's getting harder to play it. I know we pretty much at this point, we kind of need a newer unit that will work. I would like to see an eShop that just you can go through and I know they have hot fixed a little bit of that. It is a little smoother now if I use my finger to kind of like scroll through. You can scroll through the store online through your computer or on your phone. I have kind of done that too, but it's been kind of limited on it. And I know they've come a long way with all that, but I am kind of excited for that. Or are you interested in getting it on like Steam, PlayStation 5? Like what's your go-to console and format? And for our Transformer reveal today, of course, I was all excited. We as a it's 36 years this year for Transformers the animated movie, and I'll show you the Blu-ray again. I think for those that saw it was about this time I think last year when I featured this as well. Usually right on my birthday, we will fix the dining, not the living room up, and I have it set up down there where it's kind of like almost like a movie theater, and we turn on little lights. I wish I had like the little dots going down like the pretend little aisle, or along where you'd like the walking area and have like some little LEDs. That'd be really cool. Excuse me, sorry, my apologies. And we do that on my birthday. And then usually, like when my brother came over, we did some of the arcade room. It was a little bit cooler. Finally, have you been able to finally break from some of this heat? Ugh. So a lot of the humidity kind of cut down. And we have been rocking and rolling through this house. We went through and we put this blue stuff. I forget the name of it now. It's almost like this reflective stuff. It makes it sort of a bluey-ish style. We've literally done it on pretty much all the windows through the whole house. And boy, it's like a 12 to 15 degree cooler difference in here. We haven't had to run the air conditioner as much. But I still pop it on every once in a while, at least for a little while longer until it starts to really start cooling down. But as it's been a bit cooler, we've been able to enjoy that. So we were able to come up and go into the arcade room a bit. And we also did G.I. Joe, because I have G.I. Joe on Blu-ray. And this comes with the Blu-ray and the DVD version. So we also did that. I usually do that the next day. And then we had usually my favorite cake for the holiday is either red velvet or ice cream cake. But this year my hubby was amazing. He got so creative. He got like this little ice cream log thing. I forget the name of it. I'm glancing over there because he's over there keeping Mora calm. And I'm sorry we don't have the camera on today for the Mora cam, cat cam. And then we got this little small, cute little rounded regular cake. Oh, it was so rich, though. I mean, I'm just at that point where I just can't eat much of the frosting anymore, and I kind of gave that to him. When I was his age, then yeah, I could take all that, but I did. But my goodness, it was so good. Anyway, I just wanted to share that I was kind of excited and kind of share with you all. I know a lot of you like knowing kind of how our birthday went. Oh my gosh, my parents. Not that it's never about this. Her parents sent me a nice little gift. That was amazing. Just a couple of nice things. And speaking of, I don't know if I can show some of this on camera. We have been going pink, and my amazing hubby here has been able to help outfit me with. I think a lot of you were like, Dr. Fox, where's the pink kitty and microphone? It connected Bluetooth. It's 90%. I don't know what it is. I used to be an audio gal, and they run the audio differently through the system in OBS, and I'm not quite sure why. That was a really expensive one, and I feel bad. And even with the mouse too, it just blinks at me. And I'm like, I must not be recharging it properly because it just sits here. And I'm like, I thought I was charging it properly the other day, and I looked it up, and it's not like I'm not looking that stuff up. I'm like, something's wrong. And then I thought maybe because I have a fan system it runs into, and that has USBs. It's like external USBs. So I plugged it in regular USB directly into the laptop, and it's not charging that I'm aware of. And we thought it was, or I don't know. But I was so excited. We got the pink mouse. This is a really expensive mouse too, man. I mean, I don't usually go for this type because I prefer the type with the trackball type. And it's too bad they don't have that in pink. Or I suppose we could put it. And I can't really show it to you. The camera can't really do it, I guess. But he bought this amazing. I wish there was a way to kind of show you Or maybe I should have done this weekend update on a different computer, but it would take me some time to get all this stuff set up. But there's like this pink vinyl, or maybe it's not vinyl, some sort of material. I forget what it is, but they're like little stickies, and you can like put them all over your laptop, but they don't cover like the vents or the lights or the little indents and all that. And it looks all beautiful. It's all like pink. And so I'm all excited. We got the last thing coming is like this massive pink, like mouse pad thing that goes all the way across the desk. And I'm like, I am so I'm like loving this pink thing. And I don't know if you saw. Here's the panel below. And yes, even this mega expensive, beautiful pink keyboard. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's all lit up. I love. He knows I love LED lights, and I do it, but I'm afraid I'm gonna hit a button that's like gonna turn off my broadcast or something, if I don't accidentally do it. But it's got the clicky sound of like clicky keys, and I love that clicky sound. It's really, really, really cool. I mean, I feel really bad. It's really expensive, but he's like, no problem. So we went pink, and that's something else that we've been working on. Like I said, we were doing all that stuff for the house. We've been trying to keep Mora. She was having some struggles for a bit. We were trying to get her settled. We moved her food and her water back upstairs. She was having trouble going up and down the stairs a bit here, so she's thankfully sleeping over there and doing okay. Like I said, I'm sorry I don't have the cat cam going right now. It was giving me issues. I'm not quite sure. I gotta tweak my way through some of this. I'm having some trouble, but I brought up the old decoy, and I think this will pretty much give away who I'm going to be talking about today. I love talking about him right around because he's one of my all-time favorites, aside from Bumblebee and a couple others that are some of my favorites as well. But he started out before Megatron killed him. They have one of those little action rematch or whatever these characters are called that don't transform. They're just like posable characters. This is Alpha Trion. This is the way I remember him from the animated series for G1 and or A3 for short. Rebuilt Optimus Prime. I have a few variants. You've seen the little decoy I have of Prime. I've got they had these at the Dollar Tree. They were like little. No, these weren't Dollar Tree. Sorry, these were the ones from you buy a 2-pack at Walmart for like $2, and it comes with a little transformer. And they had that Prime, Bumblebee, Grimlock, Megatron, Starscream. So I got that little guy there. Oh, these were the ones from the Dollar Tree. The little keychains. These were like $1 before everything went up to $1.25 store, not including. So that was the Optimus Prime keychain I've got. I'm just sharing with you a lot of the different variants. There's tons more of Primes out there. I just don't have them all. I can't afford to do them all. But before Prime was shot by Megatron, he looked like Orion Pax right here. This is actually the Transformer. I think this is the Power of the Primes. It got really expensive really fast because they'd only put out a limited amount of them, and then the price just cranked with every other thing. And I had gotten my hands on one before the price got a little too obscure. It's awful now, but this is actually part of his original Prime gun that it comes with, and this is the Power of the Primes. This reminds me a lot of after the G1 Transformers came out, they did like a Power Master one, and there's like these little. It reminds me of that. There were these little. They look almost like Target Masters and Headmasters, and they kind of folded over, and they'd click on and like power up the engine. I remember the commercials for those. Any of you else remember that? Share that with me in the comments as well. But obviously, it didn't transform into Orion Pax, and I've been waiting decades for them to make an Orion Pax Transformer. Now, they actually have one out now that Orion Pax transforms into his original form. It looks a lot like Cup. It's like a Cup variant, and that's kind of what he looked a little bit like, what he would transform into before Alpha Trion had turned him. But I was just really, really excited. I really like the Orion Pax one, because you can actually turn this around and transform him into a regular Prime as well. And I'll show you the trailer. It looks a little wonky. You can kind of see it's not quite, but it's because this transforms almost like Ultra Magnus. See, there's his big feet. Look at that. But it's a trailer that goes on him. He will actually, the Orion Pax character will transform into Prime's truck, and it'll actually hook on. There's a little hook right here If you can see it, and there's the underneath. There's his legs. It's kind of a chassis that hooks on, so he's sort of a larger Prime. But to go back and look at G1 compared to him at the time, this is the G1 Optimus. This is my Prime that I remember. There was even a time where you could like mail away for the for Prime, and I think I did that. I can't remember now. But this is good old G1 Prime right here. I always try to be careful because this guy, like he is so. I just try to be so careful with him, and then his little blue, not gloves, his little hands go on the ends of this as well, and this is like classic G1 right there. And yeah, it's not just the G1. There was a G1 reissue, but I didn't have $50 just for the front. It didn't have the cab. Yeah, I know there's an $800 transforming Prime out there, and actually has good old Peter doing the voices for Prime. And now they have the $800 trailer for it. And yes, I would love it. It automatically transforms. And this is the old original trailer. Here we go. There's the plank. There's good old roller right there. And then this part goes up as well. But just a good old shout out to good old Peter Cullen. That's my man right there. Oh gosh, the stories to tell about him. But then they have the version of the one that was with Orion Pax here. But there's so many other variants. They've put out so many Optimus Primes over the decades. And no, Optimus Primal is not Prime in that form. That actually is a different one. There's another actor I like that does Optimus Primal. We know that Ron did a version of him in the CGI version as well, not of Prime. And then we had the other actor who did Optimus Prime. He did Optimus Prime for the Transformers Unicron Wars, like the War of not the War of Cybertron. There's so many. Anyway, I know, and then the Nickelodeon one's coming out, and then of course you can watch some free Transformers on Pluto TV. I was sad though. My Amazon TV has like regular live channels you can go through, and then it will go up and it will show you the Turtles channel, but it doesn't give you the Transformers as default. You actually have to open the Pluto TV app to get to the Transformers channel, or we do it up here on the Android TV. I have one of those little like $20, or when it was on sale for like $15 or something, $14.99, and it was like the little and I did the updates on it, and it works great. I just fired up through there on Pluto, and it plays great. But if there is a way around that to make the Amazon TV show that channel, because I know there's like an edit. There's like we call it the sandwich bar. There's like 3 little bars, and you hit it and it opens and it like manage channels and stuff. I've tried to add that, but it doesn't give you that. It does put some Pluto channels in there, but it doesn't say. I don't know if it just didn't update it currently, or maybe I know I always check my updates. But anyway, if I'm doing something wrong, please share with me how I could add that channel so I could just go up and down through my locals and be able to jump. Because usually on Thursday, we do Turtle Thursdays. And so sometimes I'll put on Totally Turtles channel. And then I like to put on Transformer Fridays on Fridays sometimes. But we get so busy doing other stuff, we're not really paying much attention as well. And you probably noticed there in the background that we're still plugging away. I'm doing one of the events this weekend. What was the event called for? Gosh, now I'm going to... I knew I should have wrote this down as well to see what that was. But there's this event going on for like 9 or 10 more days. And my apologies, now I'm going to screw this all up because I'm not finding the proper setup here. But there's a little event. You can unlock this little character right here. What's her name? Is it Veronica? Like sort of her ghosty version of her you can get. And I think that there's like 2 other characters this weekend. It was really, really quick. My little strategy is I leveled I immediately, thankfully, you might notice too, I've got some new familiars out there, aka the pet. I call them the pets. Or I don't know if that's considered Bud, like the BUD. What's the B? Someone help me. What does BUD capitalized stand for? And I know I could just look it up. It probably means like base something per damage or something. I'm just not like, what's going on, right? And I'm playing this game that I grew up doing Dungeons and Dragons with my brother for a while, but I quickly got out of that, and I just been so many variants of so many ways of how it plays, and I kind of get the basic ideas of mechanics, but there's these little vials that you can use to bonus up the BUD, and I'm like, is that the familiar, or is that like base damage per something? And I don't know what U stands. I gotta look it up. I'm sure that I'll probably get some comment that some horrible person is like, just look it up, Jen. And I'm like, I'm working on it. I'm just saying, if you happen to think of it and you're seeing this and you're like, oh, that means da-da-da-da, just to be nice, you know. It would be anyway. So that we'll do that, and I'll get the familiars out quick first, and then I'll quickly just try to get those first couple of characters that I'm focusing on up around 100, 150, or just trying to level them 10, 15, 25 the best I can as I can slowly, and then or just to start to unlock my party members. I figure out what my formation is and how many characters you can have come out, and then I basically do that, and then I just kind of let the first couple. I usually get my click damage up. Now that's something else we haven't quite been able to figure out too, and maybe you can answer this question for me. Is the click damage when you do it, is it only from your mouse click damage, or are the familiars doing your click damage for you, and are they equaling, like, let's say you get your click damage to level 50. Does that click damage be doing for every click that those little familiar guys are doing? Or is that only when you click? Because most of the time I don't click. I just kind of let my characters auto battle for me, pretty much, which is kind of fun to do in the background. As you might have noticed, there's a lot of activity going on up there. And I know I got a lot of leveling to do. I haven't checked on it like the last half hour because I've been trying to do audio tweaks and things like that with it, and my laptop's been giving me issue and having to move things around. But I don't know. With that anyway, I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. Let's get into the I love my calendar kitten, and my little sweet calendar kitten. Here is let's just jump right over there. I just gotta reconnect it. You can see I already have it set up in the OBS. But yeah, let me know if that click damage. Oh, so I'll do the click damage, and then I'll pretty much just get everybody like the level 150. And then I'll start doing the first two up around 250, 300, 400, 500, whatever. I do also work on unlocking their feats of strength as well. Those do make a big difference for adding 10% attack damage to them as well. There's just a few little tips for you. All right, let's get into this calendar. Dark Moon Fair, if you're catching me today, sadly, Dark Moon ends tonight unless you can jump in this afternoon before 3 a.m. It hangs around till 3 a.m. this Tuesday. Remember, all right, shameless plug. I know I have those videos out there where to find all those free t-shirts in World of Warcraft. If you want to go get your free t-shirt day, that is coming up this Tuesday. So go get your goodies along with the new 9.2.7 drops on Tuesday. So another big reset. And of course, I know a lot of people probably be running to try for another pet or a mount, most likely mounts. We get a lot of people that are out there that are running their mounts as well. So get in on that free t-shirt. That's a micro holiday. That only lasts pretty much one day. As well. Faded raids. I will try to put those links if I can get in there. We're trying to edit some more, but it's been a bit of a struggle as well. Those faded raids are continuing. Sanctum of Domination, that's ending. Sepulchre, the first ones, that's beginning. Time Walking Dungeon event will be beginning. PvP Brawl, Temple of Hot Mugu. As well, Shadowlands Dungeon event, that's ending. PvP Brawl, Cooking Impossible ends as well. So that should give you your I love my calendar kittens for the week, I hope. Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to call me once again when I'm back on again next time. Stay safe. I hope it's starting to cool off for you. I know we're starting to head into fair season for some of us up this way. And a lot of us are getting ready for that little back-to-school craziness as well. If you can grab some of your back-to-school goodies, I hope that you're able to kind of do your best to help you get through that this year. Allow you to not have to worry too much about like maybe the winter stuff for a little while. Allowing you to look for those little secret deals as well. Share with me. Are you looking for some? Are you getting some for your kids? Anyway, there's so many other variations. Stay safe. Once again, we know the drill, huh? Yep. Have a good week, and we will see you later.